Okay, Bradyn Swinson, a player I was pretty high on actually in this draft class. He was kind of projected to go, a lot earlier than this, and I thought he should even go higher than where he was projected to go. Ultimately, he falls, which usually the NFL, I like to think I know some things here, but the NFL does tend to know more than me. So again, was projected to go 71st. He goes almost, or he goes over double that in the actual draft. But he's a player I like. I do get why some teams are going to be turned off by him because he is not an every down player. We'll talk about it in film, but he is a pass rushing specialist through and through. That's what you're getting here with someone like him. And to be honest, that's fine. For a 5th round pick, getting a good pass rush specialist, that's pretty good value. Again, some teams aren't going to want to go out and, make sure that they just get like a player who's only going to play maybe 300, 400 snaps a year, which might be his role. But for the Patriots, I think what they're kind of trying to do here a little bit isn't just to get some good defensive linemen, but to get a lot of good defensive linemen, right? Like Milton Williams comes from Philadelphia where, okay, listen, he played 650 snaps last year. That's including playoffs, but definitely he was a guy who played a specific role. They want guys who can play specific roles well, right? They don't need everyone here to be getting tons and tons of snaps. If you can come in and play a minimum amount of snaps, that's not the worst thing in the world. It keeps you fresh, and it's just like logically, it's almost like I feel like Moneyball, this was the thing, right? Where it's like we don't need a pitcher who can get every right-hander out and every left-hander out. We can just get a good right-hander who can get the right-handers out and a good left-hander who can get the left-handers out. It's kind of that logic a little bit with pass rushers or, run stuffers, right? Well, the issue is you don't know if it's going to be a pass or a run, but sometimes you do. If it's 3rd and 7, it's going to be a pass. So that's why pass rush specialists are still valuable and still definitely work. So yeah, I think it's a totally fine pick. I actually really like it. And let's get into the player himself and why I just like the player. Let's start off with this play. He's going to be going up one-on-one against a left tackle right here. And this is the kind of thing that you'll definitely see from him from time to time. I think it's good stuff, where watch what happens. Right when this play begins, watch him just shoot for an inside move and has really gotten past the tackle. Don't get me wrong, he's not always trying to do this. Sometimes you see guys get in trouble where they're just like constantly trying to, do things like this, and it, eventually tackles will catch on. There's not a lot you can do after that, but he really picks his spots to where he'll mix things up like this. Because of that, watch how he really gets straight through on that play, completely disrupted the quarterback and what he wanted to do on that one. Quarterback still got the ball off, give him credit, but that's what Swinson can do, right? Is he is very good at this kind of thing, and he is someone you expect to be a good pass rusher. Now, we can talk about run defense. Listen, you're not drafting him for run defense. You're just not. You're drafting him to be a pass rusher. Hopefully, you can develop some run defense. Really, you draft him. I think his perfect ideal role right away would be a rotational pass rusher who's mostly out there on third downs and some second downs as well, because most teams pass on most second downs now. But I think he would be okay as a run defender in a lot of situations, at least not someone you can't have on the field if it's a running play, for example. But this play, the left guard's going to be the one who's blocking him. Watch as when this play begins. You see right here that, again, I don't think did anything great on that rep, but I will say, player with the ball is going towards the right. You see how he shows hustle, was ultimately able to make the tackle. Listen, the run defense, that's just not his game. He's not a run defender. He is a pass rusher through and through. That's what he's getting drafted for. But ultimately, there is a lot of value in that, right? Teams will pay a lot of money for a good pass rusher. And so let's go over here and let's talk about that pass rushing. So this play, for example, going to be going up one-on-one against the right tackle here. Now, there is a tight end on that play and on that side of the field, and actually a running back as well. Neither one of those will be blocking, although that can kind of change things for Swinson because he doesn't know exactly if he's getting double teamed or not. However, when this play begins, you see right here, again, hands are so important, and for that right tackle, the right hand is going to be what kind of can make or break this play. It's not great placement for the tackle. What he's going to actually have to do now is get his left hand on the side of Swinson and try and push Swinson behind the quarterback. And honestly, he does an okay job at doing that, but Swinson still did, help generate pressure. Quarterback has to, step up and is able to do that. But ultimately, again, you could sit here and say that there's maybe he's not the strongest, maybe you can push him back, but ultimately, he's still able to get over and make a play work, and that's what I like about it. Like, yeah, there are instances where he does get pushed behind the quarterback because he does, like to use his explosiveness to try and win early on. Like, this is an example of that. Watch as when this play begins, you see how, first off, really strong push on that initial play, right? To say that he doesn't have power would be unfair. He can definitely drive you back. Ultimately, at this point, though, the disengagement with the offensive line might actually play to his benefit, because watch how he is able to kind of push him behind the quarterback. Ultimately, that is something that can happen because Swinson goes to the outside so frequently, which is also why those inside moves can be so deadly when you do that. But ultimately, again, the negatives are not too common, I would say. Far more of what you see is something like this, where you see he is going to be on the edge right here. Again, this is a one-on-one matchup. And unlike those last plays, watch how he just gets past the tackle, and there he is able to hit the quarterback. This is the far more common thing you are seeing, is using the footwork and using the acceleration to get around the edge and being able to beat guys that way. Now, I do want to say as well, because again, sometimes you have players who are only good at winning in that situation, right? They can win with speed, and hey, that's good. Winning with speed is obviously good, but ultimately, you do need more at the next level, and I would say he definitely can win in other ways as well. He is so long, and he does have a good amount of power. Heading over here, you see where he is now going up one-on-one against a right tackle, and again, just watch what happens on this play. Watch just the power he's able to pull off right here. Again, isn't ultimately the guy who makes a sack, but you see the pressure that he applies on a play like that. So yeah, ultimately, he's someone that just will probably work at the next level. It feels like he will be a, really good pass rusher. Again, I think there are some ceiling concerns at the fact that he isn't the best, run blocker, and I would still say, I don't think he's, a perfect pass rusher necessarily, but is ultimately a really good one, and I think an underrated player in this whole process, because sometimes it's good to just find a guy who's good at a thing, right? Everyone's looking for who's the next superstar. Sometimes just draft a guy who's going to be a pretty good player, that's kind of how I view it. But yeah, that's what I think about Bradyn Swinson. Let me know in the comments below. What are your thoughts? Always love hearing from you, and of course, as always, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed that video and want to hear more of my thoughts, well, for one thing, you can check out my movie channel. Yes, I have a movie channel. You can check the link in the description below. I do some fun things like some movie reviews, even some TV show reviews, tier list, fun things like that, so you can check that out. Also, make sure that you are subscribed and paying attention to this channel, as there will be plenty of draft content. I plan on making a video for every first round pick, many of the other picks throughout the draft, and also I will do recaps for each team after the draft is over. So I will eventually talk about every single pick from your favorite team. Be on the lookout for that, as it will be out this weekend. And also, if you want to follow me on Twitter, you can follow me on Twitter. I am at Jackson Kruger, or X, whatever you prefer to call it. But yeah, that's all I got. Thanks again for watching till the end of the video.